Right, so I am currently in my M4 CS, and in this video we're going to be comparing this car in stock form to it being tuned. Okay, so currently I'm driving this before it being tuned, and during this video we're going to get it tuned to stage 1 power and compare draggy times. So I'm going to do draggy times now. We're going to do 20 to 70 mile an hour because that's quite relevant to my channel. I do that a lot on my channel. And then we're also going to do 100 to 200 kilometers an hour because that's kind of a bit of an industry standard in the car world, 100 to 200 kilometers. So we'll do that now. We'll get the car tuned, and we'll head back later on in the video and see how much of an improvement a stage 1 tune makes to an M4 CS. Before we crack on with doing draggy times, let's quickly look at my draggy leaderboard. This is the 20 to 70 mile an hour one. Just have a quick look where we think this might fall on the list. So a W204 C63 AMG, I always use that as like a benchmark car. They're obviously naturally aspirated 6.2 litre V8 engine. They're 450 horsepower, which is what this is from factory as well. And that car, I've done it in 4.38 seconds. I think that's quite a good benchmark. This does have a limited slip diff, and obviously this is turbocharged, so it should have a bit more mid-range power. So maybe as quick as manual M2 competition, will it beat that? That's an interesting one. 410 horsepower. In fact, that's probably a better benchmark. So early 4s would be nice, but it's going to be a battle putting the power down. Now these cars come out of the factory with Michelin Pilot Cup 2 tyres, but some of the cars managed to make it out of the factory somehow with Michelin Pilot Super Sport tyres, which isn't a plus, all right? This car was one of those cars that come out of Pilot Super Sports. They're not very good in the rain, and you know what? They're not actually that great in the dry over. I could do with a set of Pilot Sport 4S's or something, but they've got good tread on them, so it'd be a bit of a waste to bin them off. But yeah, let's do run number 1, and then after that we'll do 100 to 200 kilometers, and yeah, see how it gets on. Here we go. So we've got it in M mode, everything switched off. Bit of back end liveliness there. Done. So yeah, simple as that. We do start from 0, so it propels through 20 mile an hour all the way to 70, and I'll do several runs as normal, and I'll come back to you in a sec and let you know which one was the quickest. And then we'll head up to VRS in Northampton, which you lot probably would have already seen in the last video, where we tune the car and see what difference the stage 1 tune makes. All right, so let's do a few more runs. So I've done that run in auto mode. I think this time I'll try it in manual mode because you've sort of got a bit more control in you. So let's go. Flat on the throttle, a little bit on and off there, but just to try and keep the traction down, but it is a bit of a challenge, I ain't gonna lie. I'll do a couple more and see if we can beat the M2 comp, yeah? Right, so we are now pulled over on the side of the road, and I've got the draggy times in front of me, and it actually done really well. So I can tell you straight away that it beat the C63 AMG, which done it in, let's just remind myself what that done it in, 4.38 seconds. Very quick car that was. I loved that car. I daily drove that for quite a while. It was a long while for me, a good few weeks, and I loved it. It started with a 3, so it meant that means that it beat the M2 manual stage 2 car. It also beat the M2 competition. It also beat the stage 2 Audi S3 Saloon. That was a proper quick car, and bear in mind that that is a Quattro 4-wheel drive, so putting power down, that had no traction issues whatsoever, whereas with this we did battle for traction, which is interesting really, because I should battle more for traction later on in this video, but we'll talk about that later on. So it done it in 3.96 seconds, so it sits between the M140i, which is a stage 1 tuned car, and the Audi S3 Saloon, which is obviously a stage 2 tuned car. Now let's quickly just go back to the times that I've done, because I also done 100 to 200 kilometers, which is about 60 to 120 miles per hour, and the quickest time I've done that in was 8.63 seconds. And ironically, you still, from second into third, there is still a bit of a battle for traction as well. So it's a nice warm day, 21 degrees. These tyres, but yeah, 8.63 seconds. I've got no idea if that's a quick time for 100 to 200 kilometers. Got no clue about them times. Sounds good, but the aim for this video is of course to beat it when the car's tuned. Right, so we'll now head over to VRS, get it tuned, head back and do more draggy times. Right, so it is a week or so later now. We've had the car tuned. For those that have seen the video will know the results, but for those that didn't see the video, let me just quickly pull the results up. I haven't actually got the old one in front of me, the old dynograph. I think it's 463 horsepower, was it? Was it 450? I don't know. We gained about 40 odd horsepower. I will put all this on the screen. So we're currently now at 496 horsepower peak power and 509 pounds-feet of torque. All right. What's noticeable, obviously, from not just from the graph, but also from the way the car drives, is there's a lot more low to mid-range power when driving this car. It's noticeably different. It ain't like scary quick, ain't crazy quick. This ain't like, you know, we've had plenty of faster cars on the channel, but I am expecting to see a little bit of an improvement on the draggy time. So yeah, I'm loving it. Also, what else I had done on that day was Apple CarPlay. We've had the M4 GTS gearbox software flash done, and wheel spacers as well, which they're not going to affect the performance, I don't think. So yeah, let's just do it as we done it earlier. We'll do 20 to 70 mile an hour, see how we get on, and then we'll do 100 to 200 kilometers an hour, but I'll do that off camera and I'll come back to you with the results. All right, let's get on it. Here we go then. Run number 1, traction control off, gearbox in the fastest mode going. Oh, let it off. Glance down. Yeah, 4.01. That was a poor run. That's my fault. I'll do a couple more runs, yeah? 2, 1. So much wheel spin. 4.11. That was slower. I need to get this power down. I'll go again. Here it goes. Traction is a problem, but that is good. There we go. So 3.96 to beat, which has done 3.92, and that was with a lot of wheel spin. Back end is like snaking all over the place. I still want to do more runs because I know I can do quicker than that. Right, you ready for the best run of the day? Here it goes. Get out of second. Out of first and second. Oh, that's a little bit sketchy there. That was not the best run of the day. Oh, it's bloody good though. Go again. Get up second, that's it. Gun it, cow, gun it, that's the one. Yeah, that was the run, boys. Right, I'm gonna do a couple more anyway off cam, but I think that's gonna be a very difficult one to beat, and I'll come back to you in a second, let you know the results. All right. Right, so I've now pulled over, switched the engine off, let the car cool down and stuff. Obviously, we've done quicker times on 20 to 70 and 100 to 200 kilometers. That was going to happen, wasn't it? You can see from the dynograph that the car is performing a lot better than it was before the tune. But time-wise, we'll go over quickly now the results that we've done. I'm quite impressed with what we've done, actually. So 20 to 70 mile an hour times. I was obviously battling with traction. I've noticed that since we've tuned it, it is a bit more, it's more powerful, isn't it? These tyres definitely don't help the situation. The Michelin Pilot Super Sports, they seem to battle a little bit with traction. It's a cooler day today, 16.5 degrees. I'm pretty sure it was like 21 degrees before. But yeah, anyway, after dealing with the battle that I had with traction, my best run was 3.66 seconds. That was the run that I'd done on camera. Then I'd done a couple more runs and I actually done 3.65 seconds. So that's an easy one to remember, 3.65. And if you look at the draggy leaderboards, it puts it between so slightly quicker than Ben's 700 brake horsepower E63 AMG, which was also a rear-wheel drive car, but it did have me as a passenger in that car that day. That done it in 3.69, but not quite as quick as the stage 2 tunes F80 M3. That car felt mega quick, and that done it in 3.43. So I'd say this sits about right on the leaderboard. So if we go over to 100 to 200 kilometer times now, obviously that's just a bit of an industry standard. I don't do 100 to 200 kilometers. The road that I use to do it ain't a great road for it, but I'll tell you what the times I've done anyway. I'll be honest, I initially did struggle to beat the time. I was getting 8.62, 8.61 before we done 8.63, and I was like, really? The power at that end of the rev range doesn't really feel much different than it did before, but it's definitely a worthwhile thing to do. But the best time that I've done on 100 to 200 kilometers was 8.46, so there is an improvement there as well. Now I have looked online, and stage 1 tuned M4s generally do, there's some people out there done some amazing times quicker than that, so that is a good time. I've made an improvement, but I suppose with multiple runs and getting all the bottles of water out of the boot with less fuel and stuff like that, you could do a lot more to save on time. But overall, I am well happy with the car how it is. I think if I was to do anything to the car right now, like being really picky, I'd change the rear tyres, and I'd maybe lower the car. I'd only do that for visual purposes, because I think driving wise it drives spot on, but visually I just feel like there's a bit too much of a gap between the wheel and the arch. But I just don't know if I would do that. I don't know if that would spoil the car. This car came out of the factory with suspension that's unique to the M4 CS and the GCS, so to swap it out for something, I don't know. But yeah, shout out to VRS Performance in Northampton, obviously, for tuning the car. I'll put links for them in the description below. I just wanted to do this video to summarise the difference between stock car, stage 1 tune car. There you go, thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked this video. If you did like this video, do me a favour and hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe for a new video every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 o'clock. And if you're on Instagram, give me a follow on Instagram at Calvin's Car Diary. And I'm now going to go get some lunch, all right? See you later. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, I've just bought a high mileage Mercedes C63 AMG Coupe, but there's a twist in this video, and you're going to find out what it is on Sunday at 6 o'clock. I'll see you then.